Hey viewers! Welcome to another game with the Casual Pro Gamer. And as you can see, we're doing a 3v3 game today. My favorite type of game, personally. But yeah, there haven't been a lot of 3v3 replays lately. And I haven't been playing a lot lately, so I cannot really influence it at this moment. So Simon sent me a 3v3 and I decided it was time to cast it. So we are playing Shaco today, and apparently we are going AP. AP, of course, very nice on Shaco. It does a lot of damage, and it allows you to play in a different way than with the AD. Let me get my bearings here. So normally we see a level 1 fight here. Which is, well, not the smartest thing to do. We can actually see that the Jack-in-the-Box he put there does a lot of damage. Especially to Tryndamere, because Tryndamere really is very weak early game. Until level 6 he's really easy to beat. And there he goes once again, losing another 200 life or so. And only 200 left. So if Udyr would have stayed a little bit closer, they might be able to go in, because getting this Tryndamere is really easy. Even if you then run out. I mean, that's fine as a tactic. But he really wants to have a Jack-in-the-Box here. Don't know why. It is a good spot. But yeah, it really doesn't do too much, and that's why I don't understand why Tryndamere wanted to kill it, especially the second time, because he knew he was going to lose about half his remaining life. And yeah, now he had to go back. And the Jack-in-the-Box not actually popping on the minions, so that is actually really good. Yeah, well, now it does, but keeping it alive for as long as you can is really good, because then you can surprise one of your opponents with it. And well, Mundo didn't fall for it, so no harm done there. Well, Shaco is really good on this map because, well, he has this mobility with his Deceive, and apparently he can also place the Jack-in-the-Box over the wall, and that actually makes him even more useful. But the Deceive, which we'll see plenty of probably, is his mainly his useful skill here, because you can jump over these walls, and it is kind of a flash with built-in stealth. So it is actually better than flash. Don't know if it has the same range though, but it's okay. The range is pretty decent. So anyway, so we have Shaco and what's his name, Udyr on the bottom lane against Mundo and Jax. A whole lot of tankiness on both teams. Well, not so much Shaco, but Udyr and Gragas are really tanky. And then, well, top lane was Gragas against Tryndamere. And that means both teams have two very tanky champions and one kind of non-tanky champion, I guess. Although Tryndamere, well, is really hard to kill. Shaco is really hard to kill too, but that's because he can actually turn invisible. And the invisibility makes it really hard to catch up with him when he's trying to run away. Mundo doing a good job here, harassing him with the cleavers. And yeah, actually setting up 2 escape routes here. His boxes are dying here, because they only last for 90 seconds. And yeah, the 90 seconds are pretty much up for these boxes. Oh, there's no timer on it. Okay, so that's okay. So both of the allies are in base at the moment, and Shaco is the only one that is really in lane. And we cannot see any of the enemies. Well, Jax just ran into the screen. And there's Mundo. Mundo not actually going home, so I'm not sure what he did. He didn't jungle or anything like that, because we would have seen that with the boxes. Unless he ran all the way through the back and then got discamp. But yeah, I don't see why. Oh, Shaco escaping there with very low health. I don't know why Jax just didn't do one basic attack. I mean, he could take about 6 tower shots before he died, or before he was actually in any danger. So I have no idea. But he should have died there. That was definitely Shaco's fault. Not Shaco, Jax's fault. I guess most of the Jax players are too used to doing the leap strike and then running back out immediately. Which is of course a very useful tactic most of the time. So as we can see, the Jax running into the bush there, and actually running into one of the Jack-in-the-boxes, and Mundo at very low health. We are getting close to level 6, so Mundo at low health doesn't mean anything then, because then he can just heal up with his ultimate. So the tactics, as I've said before in 3v3 games, but since we've not had one in quite a while, the tactics are completely different. It's more about ganks here than actual farming and such. It is of course important to keep up your farming, but it is also a lot more important than in a 5v5 to keep track of the enemies, to ward the jungle. Well, in this case we have the Shaco doing the Jack-in-the-boxes, but you need to keep track of where your opponents are, and also you need to make sure that you can actually get to them, and you actually set up ganks every now and then, because if you just stay in lane, you're just going to lose basically if the enemy team does pull off some ganks. So I don't know why Mundo keeps popping his I think it's his W, the one with the huge fireballs, this one, because it costs a lot of health over time, and yeah, that's just not good to damage yourself if you don't need to. You can pretty much farm with your basic attack, with your Q. Your Q costs some health, but you can easily gain it back by actually hitting something. And we see two of them up top. Udyr has been jungling for some time, and Gragas is actually, well, maybe getting out. Yeah, easily getting out. So this is the annoying thing about this replay system. If he had a sliver of health, that would have been really exciting, but as it turns out, he still has about 75% life left, and it's not exciting at all. So not entirely sure if that is useful to show. Well, actually I am sure what I think of that, but I'm not sure what you as my viewers think of that. So putting another Jack-in-the-box there, which is really useful because it actually spots when the enemy is going to do dragon, and clearly getting owned there by two enemy champions. And yeah, we see Udyr, instead of pushing the lane here, because he knew there were two champions up top, he could have pushed the lane and actually got some damage on the turret, but instead he just pushed the lane and didn't do any damage to the turret. So as we can see, the Mundo getting pretty low and actually dying here. because he was in turret range. And he did pop his ultimate, but that really doesn't work if you're in turret range. Because you cannot out heal that early game. So doing a decent job of keeping the jungle warded. It is of course not entirely possible to do that with just the Jack-in-the-Boxes. You should really get some wards, and especially here in the middle you need a ward, and at Dragon, so here somewhere you need a ward. And are they going to get the stun off? Because if they get the stun, he's dead. Okay, they don't even need to stun. So putting a Jack-in-the-Box too close to the turret there, and so it actually gets killed before doing anything. So Jax gets feared and takes a lot of damage, and immediately dying to the ultimate of Gragas. And wow, Mundo is low. Oh no, 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 don't do that. So really lucky to get out of that, as is Mundo by the way, but and Mundo running in at too low health and trying to catch up with someone, but that really isn't going to work out too well. Getting a nice stun off here, doing a good job Udyr. And actually everyone is going to get out. Probably all going to recall and yeah, going to oh yeah, well 3v1 you can do that even if you're low health, but it's probably best to just go back and get ready for the next attack. I don't know if Dragon's gone by now, because the Skull and Bones are still there, but yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Although they just ran past it, so I guess it's still there. So Udyr should go back to jungle, and he is buying some nice jungle equipment. And yeah, Udyr should really go for attack speed and attack damage, not so much the magic damage of Matter's Blood Razor, because that doesn't work against turrets. And he is their turret killer here, because Shaco is going AP, so he doesn't have too much damage, and it is essential in a 3v3 that you have someone that can actually kill the turrets very quickly, because that's what you need to do. You need to kill one of the enemies, at least one, and then kill a turret immediately afterwards. But if you have no damage, then it is really hard to actually get the turret kill after you kill someone. So it is of course very nice to get a lot of kills going, but yeah, it's not really as useful as in a 5v5, because in a 3v3 it's all about who gets the ace. And so when you get to late game and the game is still tied, then whoever gets the ace wins. And that's what you're building towards, to get an advantage big enough to actually save the game for you, so that it's not all about that last ace. And is he actually going to steal? Yeah, they actually stole Dragon there. Wow. And they're going to catch two of them. Oh, three of them. Wow. Very nicely done. So running in exactly at the right time and killing the dragon. And yeah, with 3v3 but at higher health, it is pretty easy to get a kill if you're concentrating your fire on the weakest one. So as I said, this game is more about ganking, or the 3v3 map is more about ganking than the 5v5 map, but also about jungling. Getting the dragon is essential because of the buff. The buff gives you 1% extra damage for each level you have, so he's level 10 now, so he gets 10% increased damage. And if you get the dragon, you actually get 280 gold each, which means that's about 900 gold total, and that is huge. This is, by the way, still the old, the old patch before the last patch, way before the last patch, in fact, because I am quite behind on, on my replays. So I'm not sure what is actually the plan here. They should actually just be killing the minions, and yeah, they're going back. They could easily kill these minions and then let this push to the turrets while they go back. So I didn't actually watch the time. You really need to, on a 3v3, to get the timer on Dragon, because Dragon is your main target here, as well as the red buff, by the way. There is a red buff here. It doesn't have the little minions with it, so it's even easier to take out. And controlling, well, basically the top jungle is essential. You have two buffs here and here, which can either be a speed buff or cooldown reduction buff. Cooldown reduction and something else. I don't know. Forgot. We will see it soon enough. It's this green buff. So it's oh, that's not the one. Cannot seem to get it. I'll get it at some point in this game. Oh, that's a shame. They could have easily gotten that the kill on that Tryndamere. But they still might get the kill on Mundo. Getting a nice stun off on Jax, and with the stun, yeah, there's not a whole lot he can do anymore. So this is a lot faster than the 5v5. Rarely do you see this go to like half an hour or longer. While in 5v5 you can easily have 50-minute games. So they are actually going to catch this guy, and now with the stun and the fear, yeah, he's not getting away. So really nicely placed a team there. Two of them here, one of them here, and the safe way would have been to run through this lane, but it doesn't feel like the safest way, so that's why he ran into the bush, and that's exactly where Shaco was and where his Jack-in-the-Boxes were. So very quickly about the skills. First of all, if he strikes from behind, then he gets 20% extra damage. The Deceive is what we're going to see here. There you go. It is kind of a flash with stealth on the end, and yeah, you get some additional damage, but nobody cares. The W, Jack-in-the-Box, it is basically a turret which hides somewhere, and there you go, that's one. And it fears your opponents as well as do damage, and all in all, a very useful tool to scout with, and I'll be continuing that in a minute or so. As we see this team fight, yeah, Tryndamere didn't have his ultimate yet, so that was an easy kill. Mundo stayed in way too long because Jax was already dead, and they got some easy kills here. 3v3 is really different from 5v5, and they really should be getting this turret. I mean, that's the whole point of killing champions. You need to push. And push, 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 push. I mean, you can get another half turret here. But they are way too slow on the bottom lane with the two of them. And now champions are back out, and they aren't going to be able to get that. So another kill, which means that they can keep pushing, because it's almost impossible to defend well, 1v2, and they can choose between top lane and bottom lane, so they can basically do a 3v1 at either bottom or top. Anyway, the 2-shift poison, it's wow, already at legendary. Started off 0 and 1, so thought he wasn't going to do very well, but picked it up quite nicely. 8 kills in a row. Yeah, it is basically a movement speed reduction for his attacks. I don't know if... yeah, that's probably his normal attacks. And then he can throw a kind of a knife at his opponents, and that does quite a lot of damage. And it also has some poison on it, blah blah. And his ultimate then, he is basically an illusion, and the illusion is exactly the same as Shaco, only does 75% damage, and it receives some more damage than the original Shaco, but still it is a very useful clone. And is someone actually going to run in here? Yeah, unfortunately some oh no, that's incredible. How do you not get that? You can actually see these little orange clouds when you watch it. So when you're the opponent, you can see that, and they made that because, well, these traps that he just set up, they were quite common early on, and yeah, he's going to die here. He didn't actually break the turret aggro, but yeah, the traps were very common, and they wanted to prevent that by giving you a little bit of insight. No, that wasn't minions. That was the turret killing you with like 8 shots. Anyway, it's still pretty effective. As you can see, it still prevents your opponents from running after you. And yeah, when you set up multiple... oh yeah, popping his ultimate too early. Oh, okay. So he actually got the kill. Never mind. And yeah, picking up another dragon here. Really useful. We see another deceit. And indeed another dragon buff, which is now 14% increased damage. And as you might imagine, 14% increased damage is a huge deal on your entire team. So still no wards in the jungle from either team, it seems, because, well, both of the teams seem to just, well, from the purple team we can see it, but it seems that both of them are running into stuff that they shouldn't run into, and he should really run away from these 3 opponents instead of waiting all the time in the bushes. Just run away. And are we going to see some more kills here? No, they just retreated all the way back. So now it's crucial to stay together, get a gank off on someone, so kill basically one of your opponents, and once you do, you can take out this inhibitor and probably do some damage on this turret. Or take out the other turret and take out both inhibitors. So doing some... this is his ultimate, by the way. Doing some nice damage here on... whoa! On 2 of the opponents. And actually getting... come on! He didn't do anything, he just ran away. I mean, this was like 200 damage left. He should have easily been able to do that with like a basic attack and one of his barrels. But his barrels were probably on cooldown, so... But he wasn't going to get out, so at least try to fight. So, are we actually going to see the inhibitor fall? Because this guy doesn't have an ultimate anymore. And that's the only thing making him really impossible to kill. Oh, nice! But he's going to get killed for it. Oh, missing the cleaver! Oh, brilliant! Brilliant! Very nice. So Trendemir obviously the big damage dealer on the enemy team, and he should be taken out as soon as they can. Yeah, that was a little bit premature on the ultimate of Gragas, but they did get a kill, so yeah, I guess you can use your ultimate for engaging in a fight as well on a 3v3 map, because there are no really big team fights, because you're normally just going to get 1v1 or 2v1 or 2v2. There's rarely any fights that go 3v3, and well, since there are only 6 players in the game, there's never going to be a fight where it's 5v5 and where you actually can use the barrels to create well, to split up your enemies. So Shaco very patiently waiting and placing some... Oh, come on. Yeah, get him. Yeah, he couldn't actually get him. That's a shame. Greg is actually going to get killed here. Oh, why aren't you helping out? Come on. And yeah, they're going to pick this one up pretty easily. He should have just ran here and waited for them here, or, well, actually helped, but he wanted to deceive over the wall, I guess, and yeah, that's fine, but it takes quite some time to do so. I mean, you have to wait for your deceive to come off cooldown. And are they actually going to pick off this? Oh, nice one, Gragas. Oh, come on. Get him. Get Jax. Yeah, he's going to die now, but still nice thing to do. And attacking from the back, so 20% more damage, but it's not actually enough. So they should get this inhibitor now, and probably should push top lane now, because the super minions on this map are so much better than the super minions on the 5v5. Because you don't have 5 champions, you have far more difficulty actually killing them. And yeah, not doing some damage on the Trindamere, but Trindamere has some nice heals, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem to get away from him for him. And yeah, there he is going to get away. So the dragon is up once again. Should probably go for that, because having more money is always better. And it obviously gives you some experience as well. Don't know what the experience levels are by now. Yeah, it's all about equal except for Jax. Trindamere is a little higher than normal, but Mundo doesn't need too many levels to be effective. Oh. Yeah, I missed that, but doesn't matter. So the enemy actually taking out Dragon and killing the dragon. Oh, what's he called? Udyr. And once again popping a very early ultimate here from yeah, this guy, who shouldn't have died there. I mean, had he waited to use his ultimate to until he actually was about to die, he wouldn't have died. Mundo, is he actually going to run in here? No, he checked the bush with his cleaver and decided, well, probably not such a good idea to run in there. So we see some nice AP items on Shaco, especially the Deathfire Grasp. Oh, by the way, this turret does regenerate over time. So even though the minions took out quite a lot of the health, as you can see, it does regenerate. But yeah, Shaco can now just run in and kill it. And even though you wouldn't say so, the enemy team still has a chance to come back. They will have to score at least 2 aces, but still, it is still possible. They can still kill this team. Is this? Oh, this one actually fell. Very nice. No, just let him die. See, but now they have 1 champion kill. And what they should do is actually push this lane to get to this tower and actually kill this tower. And yeah, they cannot really do that because the Nexus turret just fell. So now it is game over. There's no way they can do anything. He's totally visible, so not sure what happened there, but guess Mundo didn't pay attention or something like that. And running into another trap. Very nice setup this time. And now he did use it at the correct time, but yeah, Shaco can just follow, and this is the power of Shaco on this map. Shaco is such an incredible champion on this map because, well, he can just move through the walls, and with a map that's this small, it is a really good thing to have this mobility. Gragas has the same thing, obviously. And GG. So I hope you enjoyed. Please send me some more 3v3 games. Put it in the title that it is a 3v3 game, because then I can select it, prioritize it, and actually cast it earlier than you would have gotten your game up normally. So as I said, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. GG.